divide it. So you cannot take a fraction. Credits means cases means cases. So 438 cases. ROP equals, somebody say 72 cases. Unit is cases. Cycle time was cycle time T, capital T.
30 days.
Actually, business days and days can be divided because a truck or a wagon, railway wagon can enter any time. There is no restriction, right? 30.42 business days.
30.42.
Yeah. And total annual cost, TC,
11,128.
128.63, yes. And then the total annual variable cost, there was no question out there, but I have it with me as well. Okay. Go to presentation mode. EPQ. Yes. Yeah. Q as Q star when this is the minimum value. Q is the Q star when the the TC's value or TA VC's value is minimum. So that is why we change Q to Q star. Q star is the minimum value. In the derivation, you have seen that the Q has been changed to Q star. Yes. And then you change the equation with Q star because ultimately our aim is to find out the Q star and then the other questions, right? So then you have to divide by Q star. EOQ instead of Q star, you can say EOQ or EPQ, whatever it is. Q is the maximum inventory level. Q is the maximum inventory level at what maximum? What should be the maximum inventory level? It cannot be just anything, right? At a particular maximum inventory level. Maximum can be anything. We don't know. So at what particular maximum inventory level the total cost is minimum? That's what we are talking about. So at Q star maximum inventory level, when Q equal to Q star, then the total cost is minimum. When Q equal to Q star, then the inventory is minimum. Q star in other words is EOQ. Not at any maximum level, arbitrary maximum level.
Right. So, sir, for any given question, we will always try to minimize the cost. So, we will always take Q equal to Q star.
After you find out Q star, then yes, Q equal to Q star.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, economic production quantity. There are certain assumptions out there. Only one item is involved. Annual demand is known. Usage rate is constant. Usage occurs continuously. Production rate is constant. Lead time does not vary. No quantity discounts. No quantity discounts or volume discount. Lead time does not vary. Production rate is constant. Usage occurs continuously. Usage rate or demand rate, and usage rate is constant. Annual demand is known, and only one item is involved. Another, the time frame is 1 year. That is not written here. Okay. So the diagram is better in my handwritten note there. Last 2 pages. So these models are not included in between. The first model, simple EOQ, and the last two. This is the 7th page. Derivation of economic production quantity. So we have gone through the assumptions, and as you know, Q means quantity level is along the y-axis and the time is along the x-axis. So what happens? The production starts at the rate of P per day or P per week, whatever be the time unit of time in a year. Okay, this is the P line, production line per day or per week or per business day, and this is the consumption line or demand rate, daily demand rate or weekly demand rate. Okay, so this minus this is this line, P minus D. P, small p is always greater than small d. Okay. Remember U, usage rate, that is the demand rate or consumption rate. In EOQ, we said U, we denoted by U. Here it is denoted by D, the consumption rate. Okay. So inventory built up rate, daily built up rate or weekly built up rate is P minus D as the time frame may be. Okay. Per unit time frame. So this is the amount sold or consumed during the production run. The production stops here, then it continues to get depleted up to a point when it becomes zero, it starts. But we need to know the lead time, right? And ROP, the quantity level at which we need to place the order. Order for setting up the machines and start production, so that as soon as the inventory level becomes zero, the production starts. So P minus D at that accumulation, inventory accumulation rate, maximum inventory is I max. Even though production lot size is Q, but in that Q we have also consumed at the rate of D per day or per week. That is why maximum inventory as soon as the production stops is I max. Okay. Time T, TP, T subscript P is the cycle time of production, and production phase, and inventory depletion phase TD is the cycle time of inventory depletion phase, only non-production phase. Non-production phase TD. Okay, so TP plus TD equal to production cycle time. Now P in the previous equation, previous model EOQ, P was the unit price. Here we have replaced capital P I am talking about, capital P with PC, because capital P is the total production, total annual production. So that is why we had to replace P, capital P, unit price with PC rather than capital P itself, where capital P here denotes the total annual production. Okay. If TP is the time to produce the entire quantity Q at a rate of small p, then small p equal to Q by TP, then TP equal to Q by P. Inventory accumulation rate during the production run time, TP is P minus D, since P is greater than D. So inventory depletes at the rate of smaller d per unit, time throughout the year. Maximum inventory level IMAX equal to inventory accumulation rate multiplied by production time. So P minus D divided by TP. Now we know TP equal to Q, TP equal to Q by P, Q by P. So PD, P minus D into Q by P. Now divide the whole thing by P. We get 1 minus D by P multiplied by Q. I mean equal to 0. So average inventory level equal to IMAX plus I mean by 2, which is Q by 2 multiplied by 1 minus D by P. Total annual carrying cost. Now Q by 2 is the average inventory level, 1 minus D by P. So that is the average inventory level multiplied by CH. CH is the carrying cost per unit of inventory. Now CH equal to CPC. There is a mistake in my handwritten note. It should be C multiplied by PC because PC equal to unit price and C carrying cost as a percent of unit price, right? Okay. Total annual production setup cost. How many times we are setting up? Total annual order divided by Q quantity we are producing every time. So D by Q is the number of setups multiplied by setup cost per setup. Yes. So DS by Q. Total annual production cost. D total demand multiplied by PC. So total annual cost equal to D PC plus DS by Q plus Q by 2 multiplied by within bracket 1 minus D by P, small d by small p bracket close CH or CPC. Total annual variable cost, you just exclude DPC. Exclude this portion, you get TAVC. Yeah. Sorry? See, this is constant, right? Total annual production cost means this is PC means per unit cost. Per unit cost, right? Unit price. Yeah, and the annual demand is constant as well. So you have to exclude this. This is constant. This is not variable. So you can minimize any of these two, either of these two. So you take the first order derivative, okay? You find this and cross check with any finite value of Q for the second order derivative. You will definitely find it positive. So if it is positive greater than 0, then EPQ equal to Q star equal to square root of 2 ds by CH or CPC multiplied by P divided by P minus D within bracket. So now you divide the denominator by P, you get 1 by 1 minus D by P here, and the other things like 2 ds by CPC remains constant, remains the same. Now we know small d by small p equal to capital D by capital P. Annual demand, annual production, that ratio is same as daily demand or daily production. Demand rate or production rate. So TFVC, you just replace all the Q's with Q star. Similarly, for TC, you replace all the Q's with Q star. You get that. Okay. There is another question out there. Let me find out. Is there somewhere? you look at the notation marks of whatever, small d, small p, capital D, capital P, PC, Q, ROP, lead time is setup time, setup cost S, small tp equal to Q by P, ds by Q. First, you find out this one. 2ds square root by ch multiplied by, not this one, this one, capital D, capital P. Because the daily rate is not given. So you have to go by capital one. If the daily rate is given, then you have to go by the small one. And you have to multiply to get the capital D as well. Either 250 business days or 365 days. I have WhatsApped you the problem. PC is the unit price. Onish, answer once. Sign up to unlock the answer free already have. So Q star is how much? How many? Here is the how many. Capital D is 7,200. That is capital D. Capital P is 25,000. So don't get confused with the demand rate. Demand rate is annual demand here. If it says daily demand, then that would have been a different thing. A demand per business, just then you have to multiply it by 250. A demand rate, so here is annual demand 7,200 and annual production is 25,000. Setup cost is $150 per setup. C, which is carrying cost as a percent of per unit cost. So 18% means 0.18. PC equal to 14.5. শ্রেয়াগিরি করছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, স্যার বলছি যে ওই the setup cost is the ordering cost.
Setup cost is equivalent to ordering cost. Equivalent, not the same, right? Ordering cost দেওয়া নেই এখানে, এখানে তো সেটআপ হবে। every time you start production, তাহলে সেখানে তোমাকে প্রোডাকশন সেটআপ করতে হবে, তাহলে তার একটা সেটআপ কস্ট আছে 150, রাইট? তোমাদের যে ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ল্যাব আছে, বেসিক ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে পড়ো, ওখানে তো একটা সেটআপ তো করতে হয় ল্যাবে টেস্টিং এ, রাইট?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ক্যাপাসিটার এই সেই হ্যানা ত্যানা আমাদের তো সেটআপ করতে হয়, তো সেটআপ করেই তো করতে, তাতে একটা টাইম যায়, সেই টাইম মানে কস্ট। লেবাররা যে কাজ করছে, এই করছে সেই করছে, সেই সেটআপ না করে তুমি তো স্টার্ট করতে পারবে না। তো সেটার কস্ট হচ্ছে $150, রাইট?
তো তাহলে 22 আসছে।
22 আমার মনে হচ্ছে তোমার কোথাও গন্ডগোল আছে। দেখো 2, তারপরে 7200, তারপরে 150, এটা গেল নিউমারেটর। ডিনোমিনেটরে গেল 1 minus 7200 divided by 25,000, ব্র্যাকেট ক্লোজড। দেন সি হচ্ছে 0.18, দেন 14.50 ইসি। তোমার ক্যালকুলেশন
গন্ডগোল আছে।
1078.12 আসছে, and then you are rounding off to 1078 copies, because this is book, right? This is a book. So how many copies of books? 1078. Number of production runs? Acha.
স্যার ডিনোমিনেটরটা আরেকবার বলবেন, কি বললেন?
ডিনোমিনেটরে কি আছে? 1 minus d by p, bracket closed, cpc.
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে স্যার। হ্যাঁ স্যার, এসে গেছে।
1078 এসছে copies?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আচ্ছা, তারপর নাম্বার অফ প্রোডাকশন রানস? নাম্বার অফ প্রোডাকশন রানস, তুমি যদি ইকুয়েশনটা দেখো, ফর্মুলাটা সেটা হচ্ছে ডি বাই কিউ স্টার, রাইট? ডি হচ্ছে অ্যানুয়াল ডিমান্ড, আর কিউ স্টার হচ্ছে কোয়ান্টিটি দ্যাট ইজ রিপ্লেনিশড অর প্রডিউসড, ইকোনমিক প্রোডাকশন কোয়ান্টিটি। তাহলে অ্যানুয়াল ডিমান্ডকে ইকোনমিক প্রোডাকশন কোয়ান্টিটি দিয়ে ডিভাইড করলেই তুমি নাম্বার অফ প্রোডাকশন রানস পাবে। তুমি প্রোডাকশন, অ্যানুয়াল প্রোডাকশনকে তুমি ডিভাইড করবে না, তুমি ডিমান্ড যেটা, অ্যানুয়াল ডিমান্ড যেটা, সেটাকে তুমি ডিভাইড করবে, নট দ্য প্রোডাকশন। কারণ আমাদের তো ডিমান্ডকে সাপোর্ট করতে হবে। হ্যাঁ,
প্রোডাকশন রানস,
নাম্বার অফ প্রোডাকশন রানস, নাম্বার অফ প্রোডাকশন রানস per year. এখানে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আছে, কেন তুমি ডি কে কিউ স্টার দিয়ে ডিভাইড করছো, পি কে করছো না? যদিও স্মল ডি বাই স্মল পি ইকুয়াল টু ক্যাপিটাল ডি বাই ক্যাপিটাল পি। আমি তো বললাম ডিমান্ডটাকে আমরা মিট করি, তাহলে ক্যাপিটাল পিটা এত বড় হলো কেন? ডিমান্ডের থেকে এত বড় হলো কেন? 7200 হচ্ছে ডিমান্ড আর 25,000 বুকস হচ্ছে প্রোডাকশন, অ্যানুয়াল প্রোডাকশন। আমি বলছি যে অ্যানুয়াল ডিমান্ড হচ্ছে 7200 আর অ্যানুয়াল প্রোডাকশন হচ্ছে 25,000, হিউজ গ্যাপ। কারণ হচ্ছে আমরা মাঝে মাঝে ওই স্টপেজ দিচ্ছি, ওই স্টপেজটা না দিলে আমরা যদি ওই 250 বিজনেস ডেজ দিয়ে যদি মাল্টিপ্লাই করতাম আমরা 25,000 পেতাম, কিন্তু আমরা তো অনেকটা স্টপেজ দিচ্ছি, আমরা থ্রু আউট দ্য ইয়ার তো আর প্রডিউস করছি না, আমরা তো থ্রু আউট দ্য ইয়ার তো প্রডিউস করছি না। সেই জন্য স্মল ডি বাই স্মল পি ইকুয়াল টু ক্যাপিটাল ডি বাই ক্যাপিটাল পি। এবার স্মল পি কে যতদিন চালাচ্ছি ততদিন অব্দি প্রোডাকশন হচ্ছে, তারপরে স্মল পি স্টপ হয়ে যাচ্ছে, আবার স্মল পি সেট আপ টাইমের পরে আবার স্মল পি স্টার্ট হচ্ছে। কত এলো প্রোডাকশন রান? ডি বাই কিউ স্টার
So 6.68 আসছে, তো ওটাকে উপরে রাউন্ড অফ করব তো 7?
হ্যাঁ, উপরে রাউন্ড অফ করতে হবে।
ওকে স্যার।
টোটাল অ্যানুয়াল ভেরিয়েবল কস্ট কত আসছে? ds by q star plus q star by 2 multiplied by 1 minus d by p bracket closed c pc. पवन कुमार पहले भी लेट थे। पवन जी पहले भी लेट थे आप? आज जो पहला क्लास हुआ था उसमें भी आप लेट थे। अटेंडेंस तो हो जाएगा, अटेंडेंस में तो मार्क्स नहीं है ना। हम लोग को बुला गया कि वो अटेंडेंस जमा करे। Total annual variable cost, how much?
Sir, doing 1 minute.
Huh?
Sir, code 1 minute.
আমি নিউমেরিক্যাল একটু কম করাবো, থিওরিটিক্যাল বেশি করাবো, নাহলে 2003.48.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll go for lesser number of numericals because of online class, online semester exam. And what happens? It's tied to the roll number. So many students may make mistakes. Because you guys get a lot of time for solving your semester questions. নেক্সট উইকে অ্যাকাউন্টিং থাকবে। তোমরা যারা একটু ভালো মার্কস পেতে চাও অ্যাকাউন্টিং এর ক্লাস কিন্তু মিস করবে না। আমি অ্যাকাউন্টিং এ চলে যাব, আমি ওটা মাথা থেকে নামাতে পারলে একটা লোড কমে যায়। फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग which is conceptual. अग्रवाल को तो ऐसे ही आया। Business, are you from a business family, Atish? Yes, sir. Anish, sorry, not Atish. After financial accounting, I will go to project management because many of you will be joining in various companies, including IT companies, where you need to deal with project management. So need to know that, even though this is just elementary project management that I'll be teaching. But overall, it is helpful. It's taking too much time. ds by q star plus q star within bracket 1 minus capital D by capital P, bracket closed, multiplied by C PC. For it, okay. Oh, now we are talking about TC, total cost. Just DPC. You need to add with DPC. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cycle time T. The idea of cycle time is basically how long does it take to totally consume Q star. Because as soon as Q star is consumed, new Q star will be coming, right? Instantaneously. Yes, yes, yes. Is the usage rate, right? Daily usage rate দিয়ে divide করতে হবে। Q star কে daily working days, yes. 250. 250. 250 multiplied by Q star.
Yes, sir. 37.43.
Huh? 37.43.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, business days. Length of production run means how long? TP, small TP. What is the production rate?
So total number into number of days for one production into total number of production করলে চলে আসবে তো।
Q TP equal to Q star divided by P by 250, মানে small p, Q by P. Remember equation কি ছিল? Q by P, তাহলে এখানে Q star by P হবে। Q Q star by P. TP equal to Q star by P. Q by P chilo. You are replacing Q with Q star. ওই ডেরিভেশনের আগেই তো ছিল একদম শুরুর দিকে ছিল TP equal to Q by P. And small p is not given, so you have to calculate small p. Capital P is given. Number of working days is given. Capital P divided by number of working days in a year, number of working days. 100 কি করে আসছে ভাই? 250 25,000 হ্যাঁ 100
Yes, sir.
100 হ্যাঁ আমি ভাবলাম টোটাল অ্যান্সারটা হয়তো 100 বলছো আচ্ছা তাহলে লেন্থ অফ প্রোডাকশন রানটা কি হবে?
Sir, 10.78 days.
10.78 days. Okay. Business days or working days. For electrical engineers, Ejra Street near Dalhousie is closed on Sundays. Lots of Marwaris, Jains and Gujaratis are there because I used to go there regularly while doing my solar power plant. You know, I mean basically integrating my solar power plant. I used to go there. You'll get everything in Ejra Street, whatever you need. Okay. ROP equal to LD or LU, whatever you call it. In EOQ formula it was LU, here it will be L small d, demand rate, right? What is how much is ROP, Anish? $15. 15 is the L, means lead time.
Sir, 432
432 copies.
copy.
Yeah.
432 copies.
Yes. গিরি পালিয়ে গেল, খাবার সময় হয়ে গেছে হয়তো।
না স্যার আছি তো।
ও আছো, 9টায় আমি ছেড়ে দেবো কারণ হচ্ছে খাবার সময় হয়ে যায়। খালি অ্যাকাউন্টিং এর সময় আমার একটু টাইম বেশি লাগবে। জেনারেলি আই ডোন্ট টেক longer time classes, shorter time, because I get sick, otherwise a headache. But accounting, financial accounting is a long, financial accounting and cost sheet basically takes a long time. And I have to do, probably it is better to do board work. Yeah. Yeah. 432 copies. Maximum level of inventory Qmax. One minus D by P. It may be capital D, capital P or small d, small p. দুটোই তোমরা বের করেছো। তো আমার মনে হয় ক্যাপিটাল ডি ক্যাপিটাল পি ইউজ করাই ভালো, কারণ দুটো ডাইরেক্টলি দেওয়া আছে।
স্যার 767.54 এরকম।
If it is 54, then it should be 767, 769. Oh no, 768.
768.
Yeah, 768. Yes.
Copies.
Yeah, correct. Copies. All right. 768 copies. That is all right. I once again remind you, next class will be on financial economics. I'll start with debit, credit, etc. The idea first. Little bit of talking. Board work initially will be less, and then it will increase. So I want you to focus on financial economics, because again, based on the roll number, last 2 digits or so, figures may change. Some figures, not all. So if you understand it, there won't be any problem, because financial accounting is also subject to interpretation. That is at a high level. That's why one what can I say? The auditor do not agree with another auditor, does not agree with another auditor, and auditors can be manipulated. Interpretation can be manipulated, but that is at a higher level. Okay, we are not at that higher level, but sometimes we may have to make some assumptions. If you mention those assumptions, that will be better. But generally, the students that I observed, they don't write the assumptions. That it may go to the profit and loss statement, it may go to another statement as well. Why and why not? So those things. Because I have completed 2 chapters. So now financial accounting on long, it will take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 week, 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks time, financial accounting. Cost accounting will take less. Cost accounting is easy, but lengthy. But then I have to balance with the industrial management. So directly I'll go to project management there. Project management, basically mathematics and some theoreticals, but basically mathematics. Drawing out the diagrams, that is the toughest part. Otherwise, it's easy. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Have your dinner.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.